What is going on, guys? Jared here from the Figure Bros, back with a new video. We're going to be talking about what some might be calling... Wait, I need a more sarcastic voice. This is what some might be calling the best Cyclops ever made, and maybe even figure of the year. It's only February, but this figure that's $100 fucking and sucks ass might be the best figure of the year. But you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself, and I think you guys already know how I feel. So let's get him out of the motherfucking box and take a closer look. All right, so here's the SH Figuarts Cyclops out of the box. Let me do a quick size comparison here with the standard SH Figuarts Goku. As you can see, he is taller. You know, there's been a lot of other reviewers that have gone really in depth of how his size is inaccurate and everything. Yeah, he's too short, right? I'm just gonna put it out there that he is too short. Not significantly, but he is too short. Let me put him next to, here's the Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Cyclops. And as you can see, if I get his frickin' croc feet to go down correctly, he's taller by a solid amount, right? And yeah, I know he's got his beam face on. I didn't bother digging through my bins of parts to find his other head. This is how he is in my display, and that's how he's staying. But yeah, he's too short, but we've heard a million other reviewers go through that, so I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. I think you guys already know that. All right, starting with articulation. Head looks up that far, looks down quite a bit actually. Well, actually, you know what? I was wrong, sorry. It still does look down quite a bit, but not quite as far as if you actually take it out of the peg. Side to side is good here. Shoulders go out, little over 90 degrees. Butterfly joint here is dog shit. It is dog water. It does not work that well at all. He can't even get his arm across his body. This sucks. And I know Bandai can make a better butterfly joint because they have before, but I digress. We know they can do better, but I don't know, it's weird. Anyways, double jointed elbow works good here. He does have a ball joint hand, which works great. Torso does not move for shit. Oh, there goes his hair. He is balding. I'm sorry I took your toupee off, dear Cyclops. Yeah, no, it literally, it does not move for shit. And it doesn't move hardly back either at all. I think it's mostly because of this weird design they have here, because they actually tuck this down in here, and then this belt floats, which on paper sounds great, but something is impeding this articulation because it's not moving at all. It sucks. You know, there's part of me that wants to take it apart and get that out of there, but I don't care about this figure enough for that. Full splits, kicks up pretty good, kicks back pretty good too. Like that very much. One thing I do like here is how well they hid the diaper that most Figuarts have. A lot of Figuarts, I don't know why they've been doing this recently, but they have this like diaper piece, which has these floating pieces in here that cover the more exposed like T-joint hinge that's in here, which lets you get better range, but a lot of times they make the diaper too bulky. Therefore, it looks weird. Thankfully here, they actually did a great job at hiding it, so I like that. It does have a thigh cut. Double jointed knee, works pretty good. Ankle here, no boot cut, but there is pretty good ankle rocker down here. Get some great range. Toe joint here, not great. Huge cut there. It's not even that big, so you're not gonna get a lot of balance off of that, but it is there. If you guys couldn't tell, I'm really frustrated with this figure because I'm sure looking at it, I want to like it so bad. I love these huge pieces of articulation. I love the bulk that they gave Cyclops. Where they did shade here, it's great. You can see the blue is shaded nice and the yellow, super flat, incredibly flat. You might say that's how he looks in the game. And I don't know, I think he's a freaking sprite in the game, so I don't know if you could say that accurately, but even if you want to say that, he's a real 3D figure in real life here. I want a little bit of shading in the yellow, so it's not totally flat. So the blue looks nice. The yellow, not so much. And the problem with only shading the blue is that the yellow stands out as not being shaded at all. Just a little bit, a touch of like orange in the shading here, or a darker yellow would go a long way. That's all I'm saying. So let's go ahead and talk about his accessories. So we saw the articulation, mostly good, but this just pisses me off to no end. This sucks. Why bother? Why bother splitting up that for a butterfly joint that barely works at all? You might as well just left it static, not cut into the sculpt, call it a day. Now he does come with these 2 extra necks. I think this is over engineering on Figuarts' part, because the neck he comes with on here is great. And they even cut this part out here. That's why you get this extra range, right? That's why you get so much range out of it in this neck. The other necks don't really have that. So I'm not gonna use them. I'm also not gonna swap out the neck every time I swap out a head. So good try, I guess, but I'm not doing it. In terms of hands, he does come with a set of splayed hands like this, grasping hands like this. He does have like the salute karate chop hands. He does come with, of course, 2 finger gun beam activating effects. And, well, I think that's about it, actually, yeah. Yeah, that's it for that. He does come with 4 visors. 4 visors. So here's the first visor. Nice beam effect here. Looks good. And the second visors are going to be connected to these other heads. Now here's where the problem is. You get these 2 extra heads that you can swap out the visors on. I think for the most part they look pretty good. Right, the teeth gritting effects looks nice here. This, I don't know, the mouth is a little uncanny to me because it's not that deep. But I think it looks fine. I think it looks okay. But here's where the problem comes in. So we have that, laser emanating effect. We have this one. This one's really nice. I love shading on these, especially the transition from cloudy to clear looks great. Especially this one. Looks fantastic. Especially the top of the beam. Oh, looks so good. But that is where the problem comes in. Because these heads, especially the big one, do not hold it. It does not sit flush in there. And the problem is if you move it at all, it's gone. It's gone. I know, you might be saying, well, does it do it with all the heads? Yeah, it does. Gone. And let's try the third one, just for the hell of it. Swap that out, get that in there. Like, there's even a bigger gap in there. And then, gone. Does not peg in. These pegs are too tiny for this huge blast effect. Now, the smaller one, again, there's still a big gap in between there on both sides, but it doesn't fall out by just moving the figure. It's still loose in there, but because it's not a hugely big blast effect, it doesn't totally fail. And it's a shame because, yeah, you have this nice mid-sized blast effect, but which one are you really gonna use with this figure? Are you gonna use that, or are you gonna use the big boy? I'll give you a spoiler. I'm gonna use the big boy, but it doesn't really work. Now this one fits in pretty well, but again, they don't fit flush on the sides. What's up with that? It's a shame because like this one looks great, but not when you look from the side. Now you might be wondering, well, okay, it doesn't fit perfectly on the side. Should you really be nitpicking that? Yes, I am. Because it's $100 freaking. This is not a cheap figure. And you know what? To give Hasbro some credit here, the beam is in, I'm shaking it really good. It's not going anywhere. Now, oh, and wait a minute. Holy shit. There's no gap. Oh my God. They didn't have a gap here. And look at that gap. Now again, you might be wondering, why am I nitpicking this? It's a $100 figure. This is $100 or more in some cases. And they can't even get this right? What are we paying for? I mean, seriously, is this really worth $100 to you? I don't know what kind of jobs you guys work, but you know, I'm not going to fully disclose it, but let's say this figure took more than 4 hours of work for me to buy. This figure is not worth 4 hours of my life. And for a lot of you people, especially the younger ones, you know, who's got to have to work even more because you're not making as much money, this might take almost 8 hours. Is this really worth 8 hours of your life? I'm going to say no. There's just so much that could have been done right here and just wasn't. But I almost forgot the best effect of all, the best accessory of all, the cardboard background beam effect. Holy shit, never mind. I forgot about this. So 10 out of 10. That, you know, we could just end the review there. He gets a 10. Figure of the year. This might be the best Cyclops I've ever had. Blah, blah, blah. I've seen all the fucking TikToks and people saying that. This might be figure of the year already. No. This is not figure of the year. You want a spoiler of who figure of the year is? This fucking guy. But that's for another review. We'll talk about him. Cheaper than this guy also. Cheaper than him. And let's just say way better. Wait, okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to talk about that a little more. Cheaper than him. Taller than him. He can get his arm across here more. And whoa, there's no like interrupted sculpt of anything here. His visor is not. All right, I'm just kidding at that point. But again, this figure frustrates me so hard because I want to like it so bad. I really like the proportions. I like how stocky he is. I like how bulky he is. But I don't know. You know what? I hate to say it, but the Marvel Legends one for $25, not perfect, but he's fine. Everything Hasbro has done here, they have done, and it's just fine. You're right. This one does look better, but in terms of price and functionality, this one takes the cake. I'm sorry. It's a good figure. And I don't really have much more to say here, guys, to be honest. The Cyclops is going to get a 5 out of 10. $100. $100. It's too much. And the more we buy and support figures like this, the more they can get away with it. It sucks. Because, you know, I mean, we're living in an age where everything has gotten expensive and figures have gone up too, no doubt. I mean, you know, the same figure from Hasbro, I was just glazing, has gone up too in price. And, you know, the quality's not really going up, but there comes a time and point where you got to look at like, should I support the one that maybe costs me an hour or two of work to buy, or should I support the one that costs me like a whole day of work? And I can't even like, you know, I'm just trying to get a pose here, and one of his effects won't even, his main effect that he is known for will not even stay in. And you really got to finagle it to get his freaking fingers up here. So 5 out of 10 for Cyclops. I'm not impressed. I'm sorry, guys. I really wanted this figure to be good. I wanted to come out here and say, you know, he's $100, but he does so many of these things great. But that's just not happening. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will catch you guys in the next one.